There you go. Oh, wow. Oh, that's one of mine, running on empty. That's another one of mine.
G'day Naked Zombie Army, and of course welcome to a very special episode of whatever the crap we call this show. And joining us is our very special guest all the way from the UK, where it's always sunny and there's flowers and bees and never rains and there's no pedos or anything like that. Please welcome the greatest man in the paranormal order of magnitude, Phil Riley. G'day, Phil.
G'day, mate.
And of course,
about right?
yeah, you do. And joining us as always is my cohort and master of mystery, and as he likes to be called, Sexy Chocolate. Please welcome Liam. G'day, buddy. How are you?
How are you all tonight?
Oh, well, I'm good. I don't know about you, mate. You're looking.
I'm talking to everybody. We got
Oh, yeah,
tons
so
of
you're not
people
talking to
coming
me,
through
are
on
you?
the live chat as well. I could talk to you, but
No, get fucked. I'm not worth it. Anyway, so we have got Riley here, Mr. Phil Riley, the man himself, the man who brought us all the information regarding Huff Paranormal and all the shenanigans supposedly he gets up to. But we have heaps of people joined us in the chat already. There's more and more just jumping in. G'day everyone. G'day to the new people joined us for the first time, and hello to our long-standing viewers. How's
Hello, Phyllis.
Yeah, that's a good intro. Anyway, hey, buddy, order, mate. Now we've been chatting on and off quite regularly, very recently, and I come across your program, mate. I must say I love it. Yeah, it's there's no jump cuts. There's no. It's just as it is. You're burying your soul, mate. You were just so frustrated of what's been going on. And we're going to talk a bit about your history first, and then we're going to jump into why you are so passionate about the Wonder Box and why you think it's such a big rip-off for people. And look, it is important because me and Liam, we have discussed the Wonder Box in the past. We're not fans as well because, me being an engineer and Liam being a friggin' archaeologist anthropologist, we've got a bit of education behind us. We're not easily fooled, if you know what I mean. We know how that we've been in the field 25 years each, as you guys know who follow us. But you're a very smart man. And for you to come to this conclusion, because you've been following Huff right from the start, right from the early days. So, mate, give us a bit of a brief history on how this all sort of come about, so you can tell the zombie army out there.
Right, okay. I started watching him because I used to be a taxi driver at the time, and YouTube, I want to say it's in its infancy, but it wasn't as big as it is now. And I live in a house that has had residents. A lot of you have probably seen the famous photo that I picked up. And I was looking for answers at the time, and there's this thing called a spirit box that I thought was some really expensive device. I didn't realise it was just a broken radio in effect. Huff was there, along with another guy called Mortis, a wizard, called Contact Mortis at the time, and he was very good. He had really good contact, and seemed legit and everything. Everything was all going well and smooth, and I followed him. I really, really liked his stuff, and thought it was very sincere and genuine, all that crap. Anyway, as time went on, he came out with this idea about the SCV-1 which was an idea I later learned was actually pinched from someone. Because if you can use radio to scan, well, can we use the internet radio to scan and do it that way round? Well, he pinched this idea off of someone, telling him it wouldn't work, and then done it himself, or got his mate, Anthony Sanchez, to program it. And the first thing he did was lie about how many stations it picks up. He said, oh, it's going to pick up like 80 stations, and it's saying much less, like 8 or something. And he's also in control of those stations, a lot of them. And it sold for a much higher price than any normal app. It's about $50, I think the app was. And it was going to be the greatest thing ever, blah, blah, blah. It really wasn't. It was fucking awful. Absolutely awful. It doesn't work. Then he came out with this portal, which he said was, he invented it. It's the greatest thing ever. Blah blah blah. Turns out it's just a guitar amp, and what he's done is decorate it with some lovely crystals and things like that. And
don't forget the fairy lights. Fairy lights. The fairy lights. Yeah. They get me every time. The fairy lights.
I mean, they're important. They are, because he says that. It's what you need for the contact. It's got to be done by me. He lies about how he programmed the algorithms in the guitar pedals. I don't know how you program hardware, and he's not a programmer by any means, but I love this video the most because he had a screwdriver and a hammer laying out to give the impression that he knew what he was doing. And yeah, all he was doing was just spray painting these pedals. And so he's not a box maker. I suppose we could loosely call him an assembler. A box maker is someone who makes something like this. It is completely...
Yeah, I've seen you use that. Yeah, it's proper handmade box.
Yeah, and that's the only one in the world like it, as far as I'm aware. But all he's done is literally go to Lunchbox or whatever company, buy this guitar amp, and he's selling it for like nearly 5 times its value of what it really costs. So if you're smart and you really want to port them, I don't think they're any good, because what's happening is if you add that much reverb, that much gunk, what you're going to do is cause yourself pareidolia. You're going to think you hear something, which is what he wants. He wants that so he can annotate what the hell he wants, and add some jump cuts along the way, of course. And, of course, use the fake app, like the divination box that told him he was chosen, but that turned out to be an ASMR video sample.
Right, so actually, mate, just quickly on that, like, I understand the chosen part, because myself and Liam have been chosen before in police lineups. So I can actually understand why he would think he was chosen. But when you've got a sorry to cut you off, mate, but I do this a lot. When you've got a pre-programmed bit of, say, I don't know, an MP3 or something like that, running on a friggin' on a Arduino friggin' shit and all the rest of it, you can program that to basically say anything you want in a random pattern. You know, so certain words will be put in there, and it sounds like what it is. It's just running off a friggin'. It's actually got pre-programmed words in there, or sentences, as it were.
He has a group called the ITC Collective, and he makes out that like that's so many people in there, and he always lists off these 2 people. There's so many people in the ITC Collective. There's George Brown, there's Matt Payne, and he stops. So many people. These guys, they all work together. Now, George Brown come out of nowhere. Like, he's a nobody, not new gen. So he comes out of nowhere with this Geo box. And like, oh, wow, it's amazing. And at first, I was quite intrigued by it because it looks really pretty. It looks, well, kind of similar to what I showed you, I guess. It's old, authentic. And this thing can go up to, not strictly, but it starts up at least nearly $2,000. But it can go up to $8,000. And you think, wow, it certainly looks the part. But actually, inside is a bit of a scary story. And I knew someone personally, well, I say personally, I mean over the internet, who had a channel who actually bought one of these things, and it caught fire. And yeah, basically inside it, the components tally up to no more than $100 from China, and he stuck it all together with electrical tape and glue. And there's no ventilation. Hence why
there's no soldering or wiring. It's just all like heat shrink and friggin' lecky tape.
I've covered this. If I've covered this on the video. Order starts on the grift box, as I call it. So yeah, it's pretty fucking bad. But these guys all work together, you see. And so Matt Payne, he creates these apps. He's the app guy. So if you ever see an app made by Matt Payne, stay away. I'm not a fan of apps anyway. I'm not saying they're out of the question completely, because some apps sort of think out of the box a little bit. Example, Steve Holte's live ghost box. It's a real ghost box, just streaming, you know? That's outside the box. Like, he makes analog and digital, because apps obviously very digital. It's, you got to think outside the box. These banks of words we're at a dead end there. But Matt Payne has gone one step closer in terms of total control. His apps are literally just two MP3 files running at 10 minutes a piece, and they go backwards and they play at the same time, and the volume goes up on one, down on the other, down on that one, up on the other.
That's the male-female voice, isn't it? Yeah, that's the male-female. Yeah, okay.
Plays it backwards, and then on Huff's Magic Box, it plays it in forwards. Now, he says it's real time. It's not real time. It takes segments. If it was real time reverse, it would know what the end was before he knows. So I don't know how that works out, but that's a different story again. So what we got is a 10-minute MP3 playing backwards. Sounds like gibberish. And then the box is flipping it round. Did you see Spirit flip it round? That was amazing, you know? And of course, it sounds spooky. It's got all the reverb behind it. And people are falling for it because they are so desperate to contact their dead loved ones. And why would the nice man lie to you? The nice man wouldn't go lie to you, surely, you know? And obviously,
the nice man that used to be in the porno industry?
Yeah.
Sorry, did that slip out? Oh,
the cat's out of the bag now.
No, not that it's public knowledge or anything. It's already out there in the world.
Yeah.
we're not talking mummy and daddy's cuddles movies, are we, Liam?
No, we're a little bit more than that. Than what you would find in mummy and daddy's bottom drawer.
No, this is pretty full on shit. So I've been made aware of.
It's history, right? It tells you, we're not going to be able to cover everything in an hour. So anyone who is new to this and come across this channel, I advise you to do research. And the best way, it's not the best way to do it, but the quickest source, I've managed to put a playlist together of every channel and every video I can find out there that exposes him in one way or form. So if you go to my channel, there are playlists. You're looking for a playlist that's called Steve Bluffs, S with a $sign, the L on Bluff is a £, and the E's are euro signs, okay? Steve Bluff and other fraudsters. So there's other fakes on there, like Tom Buckmaster or whoever else, right? And what you got to do is, there's over 100 to 150 videos. Just watch a few of those videos. But what I've got here today is an example of a sale of a Wonder Box. This guy, I can't give identity out who gave it to me, so I've got to be careful what I say.
That's right.
This guy actually lives a few doors away, shall we say, and was suckered into buying this. I'm going to take you through the sales process of what happened about buying this box and how either A, deluded Huff is, or B, how much of a scammer he is. It's one of the two. All right, so let's go through it and read this little dossier, okay? Okay, so this is from a contact of mine. I'm having a discussion with one guy on eBay. So he's selling it on because it's a heap of junk he's trying to make money back, okay? Who is selling one. I told him I'm going to be honest, and I'm not interested in purchasing it, but curious to know why he is selling it. He said he was told by Huff that the copper wires help the spirits to communicate better as they run electricity through them into the quartz crystal, which the spirit says helps their build up energy. He told me since I am not interested in buying, he has no qualms telling me why he is selling. He followed what Huff did and wrapped the wire around his head, assuming it was a low volt. He thought it couldn't hurt him. He said he ended up sick because it actually caused him an imbalance due to the hum and vibration it gave off. This is that fucking thing.
Yeah, which you don't tend to do, period. Yeah.
He told me he ended up with burn due to his sensitive skin. He wanted to send it back to Huff saying he can't use it because it burnt him, and also found he wasn't getting any real results. Huff told him it was him, but the spirits mustn't like him, otherwise they would talk to him. Then get this. Huff told him only he can wear the crown of wire, as he calls it, because he's chosen one, and he doesn't recommend others put the wire around their head because they would confuse them for Huff, and they might attack. There is much more. This is going to get really interesting. So my contact comes back to me. She says, "Hi, I just finished Skyping with him. Said that after Huff seemed to avoid him, and he hasn't had it that long, but now beginning to wonder about Huff because he found a scratch mark on the box and realised it was a serial that had been scraped up, a serial number. Now it gets better. Huff refused him a proper contract, and the purchase slip had a very different figure to what he sold it for. I asked him, mind saying what it was? He said he paid in excess of $2,800 US for it, but on the receipt he wrote 280, as in 280. He said when he pointed it out to Huff, he got stroppy with him and began calling him a troublemaker. And anyone with an ounce of common sense would realise it's like slang, trying to fob it off as 2,800. Poor guy. He said that because it's custom built, he was told he didn't even have to give him a receipt. And if he carried on about it, he would be offending his natural spiritual harmony. I replied, what the hell does that mean? Now it gets interesting. I was making notes as we spoke. I told him about the ASMR YouTuber Deep Smoke, where the dark male voice is in divination box, was often heard in Huff's videos. I took the liberty of playing in the intro. Hi, I'm glad you could join me, yada yada. And he said that Steve was saying that the voice that come through in his demo of his box won't come across to him when they stay with him. Hang on, I got this right. This guy said he lives nearby Huff. Hang on, this guy's nearby Huff. He picked it up from his home, but instead of playing any app to show him how it works, he stuck on some music instead and played the intro of the song just so he could hear how it sounded. He said he literally walked away with the box asking himself, what the fuck did I just get myself into? I asked what he honestly thought of Steve playing it up, saying I thought he was a cool guy. He said, I really don't know. I said, what do you mean? You've met him? He said, I live near him. He said, I'm not a neighbour next door, but a few doors away. He said he and Debbie have had some hot fights that can be heard up to his home. I said, oh dear, really? He said he has lately noticed Debbie appears distant, and when they are walking up to the shop, Steve went to hold her hand, and she pulled away from him. I said, well, it's probably just a lover's tiff. He said, well, I'm married, and if I called my wife a fat bitch, she'd leave me. I said, no, Debbie's a rake. He said, have you really looked at her? I said, not really. She's just, she has an eating disorder. He said, before he picked up the box, he was invited around for a barbecue. I joked, was this before you parted with your money? He said, yes. He said, Debbie's really nice. She got everything set up and they sat out on the patio talking about the pool and the sauna and other things they're buying because business is doing well with the apps and the boxes. This is when Steve apparently showed him videos of what he does and said he would do a good deal for him. Only, he added, he has since learned everybody got pretty much the same deal. He told me he had been interested in the paranormal, but interested, not active. Steve said how everyone was hearing from loved ones, and he said given his mother not long past, Steve sold him on Imagine Talking to Your Mother. Then he said Steve being a medium, because the spirits gave him the gift, because he was helping him reach the multitude, proceeded to tell him, your mother is standing beside me, telling me she wants you to get one because she misses your chats. He said he told him how he and his mother really didn't speak much since his father died because she had spent the money on herself when it was meant to be divided among the kids. Then he floored me with, sorry, I heard her wrong. She missed chats with her family, but she needs to make it up to you. He told me Steve was quite persuasive. It was like a business deal because he even toasted me on the best investment I'll ever have. All I could do was sit listening to this poor guy who got sucked in by Huff relay over crap to me. It reminded me of Snake Oil Salesman of the Great West. Wow. So yeah, that's pretty much it. And last, I've got to go. Haven't slept yet. She's purred. I told him I wouldn't tell Steve anything. Somehow he thinks I really like Huff. He ended up warning me to take him with a grain of salt because he thinks he has become loopy. What could he mean? But that is a typical sales process.
So he's gone from Liam. You can jump in at any time, brother. So basically, he's gone from. He's now a medium. How long has he been a medium for?
Contradicts himself all the time. He really does. You'll notice this in things. He said it this way. He said that way. What the hell? You know, he is a walk. That's why we've got an hour here or 45 minutes now. And there's just so much to him. It is really difficult to go through everything and whatnot. You know,
oh, mate, we're having your back. I already told you that. But there's this. I think there's going to be a part 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 on this. The way we're going. Liam, you want to jump in, mate?
Yeah, I was going to say, like, talking about the copper wire and the crystals, I know that, like, and I've been following Huff for the last few years as well, and the just ridiculous videos that come out. But there was a video that he did a little while back, and it was, I think it was, again, sort of, you know, he threw it out there as sort of some ammunition against people who were shitting on him, saying that he was ripping the public off and he was charging all of this money. And it was the video to end all videos. Like, you know, people are saying that I'm ripping people off. So I'm going to show you exactly how you can build your own wonder box. And he went through it like in, you know, step by step. This is what we do. We need to get this guitar amp, and then we need to get like a reverb pedal and a distortion pedal, and we glue them onto the sides, and then we get some patch cables and we patch between the reverb pedal and the distortion pedal and into the amp. And I mean, the thing that really got me, and I mean, for a start, like that's really all of the mechanical components that go into a Wonderbox. It's a fucking speaker with 2 guitar pedals glued to the side of it. So on its own, it doesn't actually run. You still require like an SP7 Spirit Box or a mobile phone with an app, actually plugged into it to give it some power. But I was stunned by the copper wire part. And he sits there with the copper wire and he coils it around. The copper wire is not actually plugged into anything. He just coils it sort of around the little handle of the speaker. And according to Huff in his video, the reason that he coils this copper wire around is because the spirits told him in one of his ITC sessions that spirits like copper, and that sort of acts as a bit of an attractant. The copper's not actually fucking plugged into anything. It's just a coil of copper that's sort of sticky taped onto the top of it. It's ridiculous.
I'm still trying to get over the fairy lights. Obviously, for the last 25 years, I didn't know they were capable of picking up on spirits as well.
Does that mean if I go to a dodgy building site where all the copper wire is exposed, where everyone's tried to rip it all out and take it to the scrapyard, I'm going to be full of spirits everywhere because
yeah,
well, I'm going to show this. Look.
He's got a ball of copper wire.
I've got a fucking massive ball of copper wire.
And Liam is the most haunted bloke in Brisbane.
I know, you can see them
shit's
floating
going on.
back and forth. So it's like a scene out of Ghostbusters, right? With them just coming out the windows.
Fuck, you're spooky.
See, I don't have like an SP7 plugged into it, admittedly, but that's just me.
Well, I do think if you're going to have an SP7 just plugged into a ball of copper wire, mate, I think it might defeat the purpose anyway. Just saying, just putting it out there. Something about electricity.
But you have to physically get money out the bank of about $3,000 worth and hand it to somebody, and that will initiate the copper wire to start doing its thing.
That's what it is. It's changed.
I actually got that copper wire for free. Like I picked up lots of it, and I just
won't work.
It won't work.
Actually, Liam, just speak to, I don't know, Riley, I don't know if you're aware of this, brother, but Liam, you did some research into this regarding the parts. And what he said, how to buy them and shit like this, and how this all ties in together. Why he was happy to release the information. I don't know if the Zombie Army's aware of this.
Absolute fucking doozer. Now, obviously, putting it up on YouTube, was this big deal about, everyone shitting on me that I'm charging $14 billion for my shitty, my shitty guitar amp box. But, I'm going to show, because I love my fans and, I want everyone to be able to talk to the spirit world. I'm going to show you how to build one so no one can ever insinuate or accuse me of trying to rip people off. During the video as well, he's like, funnily enough, you need the best little lunchbox guitar amp. You need very specific guitar pedals, not any reverb pedal or distortion pedal will do. It has to be a very specific brand, like one or two of which he mentions in the video they're not being manufactured anymore. So they're almost like antique pedals that you've got to go out and try and source somewhere.
That's what he wants you to do. He's told you how to build it, but what he tells you to do is go to these websites to get, because what happens is every person that clicks. That's
exactly it. Every website, he says, I'll put the links up. Because, it's very difficult to source a lot of these parts. So I've, out of the goodness of my heart, I've gone out there and I've found the places that you can buy these. Here are the links. Click on them. It takes you through to sellers on Amazon, and he's an Amazon affiliate. Now, for anyone who doesn't understand what an Amazon affiliate is, if you want to sell some shit on Amazon, you can sign up as an affiliate. You can then create like your own sort of online marketplace, and you can showcase or mirror stuff from different people's, who are selling stuff. And if somebody goes and buys that thing through your mirror, you actually get paid a commission for it. So everyone thinking, fuck, Steve Huff's a nice guy. He's given me all of the links that I need to go and buy this stuff. I'll click on all of them and I'll go and buy it. Every time you click on those links and go and buy those pieces, and funnily enough, all the pieces are the most expensive pieces, in the marketplace, he gets paid a fucking commission for it. So again, he's put a video out saying, this is how you do it. I'm giving all of this knowledge to you people. I'm not charging you a cent because I don't want to profit on it. He's fucking profiting every time someone hits one of those links.
I mean, look, I can understand he wants to make money, right? I get that. guys. I really get he wants to make money, but I think the process of way he's making it by like Order says, through snake oil salesman type thing back in the fucking old Wild West. That's the problem, right? I think that's the biggest issue is false hope for people who want to contact deceased loved ones.
We call his videos Huff commercials because they're not really videos in terms of paranormal research. They are commercials for his box. Each video is just a commercial, and they're not. If you want to go by sale of goods in terms of description, then because of the jump cuts and all the the trickery and fakery, and the layered audio as well, etc. It's not being sold as is, but he's getting away because, well, it's not a Huff commercial. This is just a research bit. You know what I mean? He always goes into markets, niche markets, where there's no ombudsman, hence the rape porn. Can you imagine buying a rape porn video? I'm quite disappointed with this. And asking for a refund and putting your name against that. Nobody's going to do that. They want to keep it a secret. He bought a rape porn video. Yeah. The niche markets, and after this, once no more Wonder Boxes sell to what he wants, he'll move on to something else with a niche market. He is a genius, and I'm not going to say he's an idiot because he's not. He knows exactly what he's doing. He's a very good salesman. He's successful because he's a bit clever and shrewd, isn't he? Let's face it. But as far as paranormal goes and that, there ain't nothing paranormal going on just because he's playing you some spooky sound samples at you.
I mean, you look at the price of this thing. I mean, I think, Liam, we worked it out. We could build one for stuff or without the Christmas lights. I'm just saying that you don't need those. Shock horror. You don't need Christmas lights, and you definitely don't need the copper wrapped around it. But if you had the same thing hooked up to an SB7 through a speaker, you'd have the same effect.
Yeah, and
that's
let's
what it
literally
is.
Let's look at it from the perspective of it just being a speaker. We're gonna take the copper wire off and throw that over there. I don't think in the history of parapsychology has a fucking apparition ever appeared in front of somebody and gone copper. That
works for me.
The new paranormal,
I'm
right?
into this shit.
Get rid of the copper. Push all of the the crystals and shit off the top of it. Let's take the reverb and the distortion pedal away. The heart and soul of a Wonderbox is a speaker. Now you can pop down to bloody J-Car or
Cash converters, second-hand
silly sollies.
Yeah.
And you can buy a speaker that's cabled with a 3.5mm audio jack and just plug it into your phone and run Echo Vox or, one of the other myriad amps, like apps on your phone through it. You're getting the exact same thing. Now, you buy a speaker for $10, and run one of these apps through it. Why you need all of this other shit and what makes that different? I don't know. I mean, fuck, go and spend an extra $15 and, buy some strawberry scented candles and set them up around your $10 speaker and light them and, make an event of it. Like, really? I don't understand.
But this is the way the whole paranormal field's going, isn't it? You got to agree.
He's saying,
yeah.
He said that he hated the white noise of the SB7. That's what he wanted to conquer and eliminate. I've done it for you, Huff. Magnitude mode. You got an SB7 that's rev free. All you got to do is put it on AM, turn it on and hit sweep straight away, and it's dead quiet. Get your $10 speaker, like you said. It does need a lot of amping, but on my channel trailer, how much clearer than that is the Wonderbox when it says, "The devil, I'm dead," and all the other thing. That's another thing as well. None of his spirits ever swear at him or cuss like you're all love and light. Spirits aren't like that. Sometimes they're quite fucking angry and they're not very nice. They called my daughter a slut 3 times on one fucking occasion.
Saw that.
Yeah. But how much clearer was that compared to a Wonderbox? And I was hearing it in real time. He was always on about, you got to record your session, which you should, in fairness. I don't hear it real time. You won't either. Well, I was hearing this in real time, and it's so much clearer than a Wonderbox. And it's an SB7, the most noisiest fucking spirit box going. So I've done that for you, Huff, and it's totally free, And you can modify it even if you really want, but you don't have to modify it to get the most out of it, Free. Just got to, turn it on in a certain way.
Well, I agree with you, mate. That's what it comes down to. But at the end of the day, this is what the main problem of our field has come into, isn't it, guys? In a nutshell, yep. It's not about the adventure. It's not about the mystery. It's not about finding shit out for yourself. It's finding how much money can I screw out of somebody else, right? Yeah. And if he's charging $3,500 or what it is, Australian dollars for one of these, I wonder if they even pass basic fucking because it's an electronic device, passes the proper friggin' electronic codes of safety.
his mate, the Geobox, won't, because obviously the sellotape and that, you know. But like I said, they work together. It's him, George Brown, and Matt Payne, or as I call them, George Clown and Matt Lane. They work.
Oh, by the way, I forgot to promote our us and you, mate. So listen, guys, if you're watching this for the very first time and watching Order for the very first time, his link will be up after this today's show. Please go ahead and subscribe to his channel. He's friggin' brilliant. You know, seriously, no blowing smoke up your ass, mate. I'm too big for that. But love your work. Love the fact that you do what you do. Oh, look, I just saw a bit of mist go past. Was that something from the Wonder Box, mate, or was that just you blowing a cigarette?
I am smoking. So
oh, there you go. Oh.
You've ruined it now.
I know, you ruined it, mate.
You're supposed to say
we're trying to
no,
wind people in. Come on. Fuck's sake. Yeah, bloody British. They're always proper. Not like us convicts. So I forgot. What was I saying? What was I talking about, Liam? I forget. Oh, yeah. Go across and subscribe to the channel. Please go across Zombie Army. Subscribe to Order of Magnitude channel. And if you're new to us, don't forget to hit that like button. Give us some like and love on the Naked Zombie. And if you haven't subscribed already, hit that subscribe button for us as well. Because I really don't want to take my clothes off to earn that stuff again. Because seriously, it's just getting an old hat now.
I love our one dislike straight away. I know exactly who that was. Every single.
Yes, Zombie Army, we got a dislike before the show even started, so obviously we've already, stirred the possum a bit. But that's what we do here on the Zombie. We like to stir the possum and just get the shit out there. That's what it goes. Now, you got any more stories for us, mate? Because you're going right into this whole thing with Mr. Huff. We've touched on the basics. We've touched on how this actually works, how people can build it themselves. Really, I don't think it's much point. But whereabouts does it become to the point where it... Okay, how did this all start for you? Go way back when you first started watching, because you were quite a fan of his in the early days, weren't you? You followed him. You've admitted that yourself, and you've been very open and honest about this. What happened caused for you to go in your point of view?
Like I said, when SCD1 came out, I even swallowed that at first. I thought, well, maybe, you know, he's advanced in the field. What a great idea, using internet radio, etc. It started getting a point, because after that, remember, that was the greatest thing ever. We had the Impossible box, or as they call it, Impossible. So, yeah, we had the Impossible box. And I noticed on his videos that the sound samples are really long, and they're not... What he's putting on screen is not what's really being said. You have to listen to it properly. And also, as well, they're jump cuts, left, right, center. Oh, hang on a minute. You know, what's going on here? And also, as well, one thing I noticed with other things, the quality of the audio, how I describe this. So, if I do a video, I've got my spirit box next to the camera and it's going off, you know, his was like cinema quality. So, what's going on here is he's not got a microphone next to his device. It's lined in, you know? Just, it's too professional. It's too cinematic quality, which is why people subscribe to it, because it's like, wow, this is all polished and shiny, and you know, but it's not real, and that's what got me. And he's prided himself on how real he is, how, you know, I am the best, I am this and the other. And basically, like I said, we had a lot of activity here. I've got the photo and you know, all the stuff I've got, and I did this before YouTube. I wasn't going to go onto YouTube. I'm not a fan of Facebook or Twitter, and I never will be. You know, I don't do social media. So after a while, I after commenting various times, explained to him, look, dude, can you please be real? I really like your stuff, but you know, I commented, I never got a reply. And I like I said, I follow Mortis the Wizard as well, who is real, and a few others at the time. And I thought, right, I've had enough. I'm going to take to fucking YouTube. People know who I am because I used to do fucking long essay comments on videos, and that's how people knew who I was. And I used to do a bit of blogging as well about my experiences in the house and all the things that we've had here. Anyway, I did a rant video, and I just flipped my shit and lost it. It was a cringy ass video. You know, I started off commenting, I'm not going to rant, I'm not going to earn. The chosen one! Fucking, you know, oh dear, terrible. But people were like, hey, he's making a lot of sense here. He's, you know, we feel the same, you know, and people start responding. And I said, well, I found out this magnitude mode thing, and how I discovered that was basically I got a toy dinosaur, and how I know it's not a broken toy because it goes off, it gets set off, is one time, and it's only ever done this once. I've asked and pleaded it for it to happen, and it hasn't. One time when we worked out, or we thought spirits were fucking about with it, we left it on overnight, and it was silent for the whole night. Didn't think anything of it. And in the morning, me and my wife woke up, and I said, "Oh, good morning, dear," and the dinosaur said, "Good morning," in a deep fucking tone. We were like, "What the fuck just happened?" You know. So, with the dinosaur going off at the right point, I had this SB7 finally come through from China. It took forever to come through. And we were too late, really. By this time, our activity had started dying down. It faded away, you know. But I thought I was going to get really good evidence and stuff at the start. And I didn't. It took me over a month or two to get any contact for it. Well, anyway, with this spirit box, I'm getting a bit frustrated. But every time I turned it on in a hurry, it would go silent. And I thought, oh, fuck, this is just cheap and it just hasn't powered up properly. Little did I know I was accessing a mode that would get rid of the white noise and everything that Huff said he wanted to do. That was his goal at the start, you know. I turned it on one day and it did this. And I was just about to turn it off and the dinosaur went crazy. I thought, So I stuck the thing to my ear. I said, hello. And it answered back at me. I was like, is that you? And the dinosaur went off at the same time and a voice was like, oh my God, I've cracked it. And I knew what I did. And yeah, it went from there. So I thought, right, for my second video, I'm going to explain how to do this mode and share this with people because it's fucking amazing. People are getting fed up with the white noise because when that SB7 was made, it was made by Gary Galka. Now, his daughter died and he made it to try and get in contact with her. So he had a genuine interest because a lot of us get interested because they've lost someone. I'm not interested because I lost someone. I married into it. My wife had it before I had it and she told me, you know, what she had here and I laughed at her at first. So, yeah, okay, whatever. And that very night, you know, I was woken up to what can only be described as like World War I or II music. And I thought it was some sort of funky alarm clock she had, and it wasn't. I could go for hours telling you all the shit that's happened here. Anyway, yeah, so I told people how to do this mode on the thing, and people said, actually, I really like what you do. You know, keep going. Be a YouTuber. You know, I'll have a camera, you know, help me out, because I had just a shitty phone at the time. And that's where my support came from. But the whole time, I've blogged and talked about Huff, as I call him, the Bluffgate saga. I don't do videos every day on him or per se, as people say, well, why don't you leave? You said what you had to say about him. Why don't you just leave it now? Well, I sort of do in a way. I mean, I comment, but I don't do dedicated videos on him so much now, unless it's the next chapter, as I call it. There's always a chapter. So we had like SCD1, that would be one chapter. Then we've got the Impossible. That's another chapter. Then the Portal, another chapter. Then we had, Ethereal. Wasn't that a heap of shit? Ethereal with the music. And they're just playing random sound samples. I am love. I am angel. Oh, fucking terrible. And I'm going to give it to you guys for 30 quid because I'm so nice. But,
it's just the way, it's a constant flow. There's always something new, isn't there, mate? There's always some other way to exploit the paranormal field to suit his purpose. Is that basically what's happening, isn't it?
So the next chapter, I left him alone for a couple of months and stopped watching his videos as well. And someone said, here, you realise he's got the Wonderbox Gold out. I was like, what? I wanted Wonderbox Red before that? I don't know. And he'd done it then, which was... Anyway, so Wonderbox Gold, I had to watch. I was like, oh my God. So I commented on the Wonderbox Gold and how he said he had done it. And his evidence for saying he had done it goes, I think I did a little skit on it, goes a little like this. I've done it. Yes, you did. I helped you. Yes, you did, Spirit. And each time there's a jump cut in this. And yep, that's it. That's my proof that I've done it. I was like, that was the worst, sloppiest jump cut. Not even give a fuck who, anyone could ever do. So I only comment on chapters and dedicate to a chapter. So the next chapter will be the Wonderbox Platinum, I'd imagine, from here in. You know?
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised after this episode, mate. We get absolutely hammered by Huff fans.
Huff fans.
Oh, we will. So be it. I mean, look, this is the thing. This is what people don't realise about the Naked Zombie if you've seen us for the first time. We don't give two fucks. At the end of the day, we're all the way here in Australia. We got very broad shoulders. We call out shit all the time. And honestly, we've had some real doozies come through. And we've had people try to shut us down. We've had this, we've had that. But seriously, at the end of the day, the truth will always come out.
Yeah.
The truth will always come out.
feel like is this message is getting out now. When I've been doing this a year and commenting on him here and there on and off for about a year on his fakery, and it's not just him, there's others I've outed as well, like Tom Buckmaster and various other people, you know. So it's not just him. It's not like I just pick on him. I just can't stand fucking bullshit, you know. And I've even done constructive I mean, what I do, I don't just go your shit and that's it. I do give constructive recommendation to channels, even channels that are growing and doing really well. I say, well, you know, if you do this, you know. But that's just my opinion. You don't have to like it or do anything. But I comment on the ITC scene, I guess. There was a point to this, but I can't remember where I'm going with it. Oh fuck. Yeah.
I mean, look, it's disappointing, mate. Look, and we can see where you're coming from. I'm sure Liam will jump in here in a sec as well. When you place a certain amount of faith into someone, and because you're going through something within the paranormal, so you start looking for answers, and you come across certain individuals or certain people in the field that obviously make sense to you, that seem to you to be a bit of a, like your peers, you know, a bit of a guiding hand, as it were, and then all of a sudden to have that and then after a certain amount of time you realize, well, this isn't what it is. This is something totally different. Why is he going down this track? And unfortunately, mate, it is in people's nature. You know that it's the fastest way to make a quick buck, fastest way to exploit a certain scenario or situation. But what I found funny is when he supposedly got Robin Williams and fucking who else? That did me head in. And who was the other guy? The singer.
He had bloody well said that he had Abraham Lincoln because he got a response that said Lincoln. Oh fuck! It's Abraham Lincoln.
Yeah, so always jumping.
It could be any Lincoln. Like who knows?
Anyone who's new to Huff and they want to go, wow, the Robin Williams, because I've got like over 1 million views. Okay, let me just explain something, all right? This is really important. Transparency, if you're watching anybody, is key. Like, you'll see me turn on my device. You'll see me do this, where my hands are. You don't see out of Huff. He doesn't even tell you what app he's using half the time. But this is the Robin Williams thing. This fucked me off, right? 8 minutes of him backpedaling and all the rest of it. 10 seconds of audio. We don't see the whole session. We don't see where that audio come from. It's just his face and 10 seconds of audio. Where did that audio come from? What session was it? You know, how did the session go? How did it start and how did it conclude to this? It's just 10 seconds of Robin scared or whatever it fucking said, you know, and then him backpedaling to cover his ass with his bullshit, you know, and that really fucked me off, you know. And he's brought Robin Williams back again. He's saying, that's him. That's his voice. Oh, fuck.
Yeah, the guys in the chat have just come up with all the names. Now we've got Johnny Cash, Michael Jackson, Debbie Constantino, Michael Jackson. Yeah, all those mobs. Yeah, I can see. Oh, look, Riley's getting pissed. You can tell. Yeah, he's getting frustrated. You're right there, brother.
Yeah, Johnny Cash playing backwards. All he did was put a YouTube video backwards and insinuate that he got him out of hell because he's so chosen and into heaven. Oh, that's wonderful. Thank you, Huff. When I die, all I got to do is look you up and you can sort me out. You cunt.
We love Riley. Good on you, brother. I mean, this is where the whole thing's going. Yeah, you throw in some big names, you do all this, and we find, I guess, being I don't know, people out there will believe in certain things in the paranormal. We can't avoid the fact, can we? People are going to believe, but unfortunately, so people are so desperate to believe. You look at the John Edwards of the world. You look at the friggin' all the mediums and psychics that charge a shitload of money for people to do readings on. People are so desperate to hear from the past loved ones. You know what I mean? And of course they'll reach out to blokes like Huff who promise them a golden answer to a golden question. Liam.
With a fee.
Yeah, I mean, and that's, you know, again, like you touched on it before with him using samples. There was the video that you mirrored through your site, I think, from like the debunking Huff Paranormal, which is that magical 10-minute video with the ASMR sample. And like my profession, my background is in sleep. It's what I currently do at the moment. Honestly, I watched that and was just so dumbfounded that I guess somebody could be that fucking stupid to attempt that for a start, and B, even more stupid to think that no one in the history of YouTube, you know, from this point onwards, was not going to actually figure that out. Again, like, we'll have to put the link to that one up, or jump across to Order's page and have a look, everybody, for that link. Like, honestly, if there was even the slightest skerrick of doubt that Steve Huff is completely full of shit, and I'm not saying that he started at that full of shit point, but where he currently is, if there was ever any skerrick of doubt that what he was doing was real or fake, I think that one is the straw that breaks the camel's back, honestly.
That video was amazing, where he kept playing it back. The actual wording was directly off YouTube.
Yeah, smoking gun.
I mean, and if anyone wants to see any of this, head over to Order of Magnitude's channel. Check it out. It's on there. I've watched it about 3 or 4 times, and I just sat there and went, "You're kidding me." He's taking soundtracks off YouTube, as in calming, relaxing sort of USA shit, you know, and making it all.
The autonomous sensory meridian response. Like, I've worked in sleep for the last couple of years. I've heard Christ knows how many CDs, you know, that use ASMR. And honestly, when I watched that video and I thought about it for all of like a split second, and I thought, fuck, how many people putting up responses, you know, from supposed ITC experiments would be using this, you know, that style of voice that is on that sort of those ASMR recordings would be perfect. And, you know, especially when you're running it through a reverb and a distortion pedal, so it's all very spooky and you know, distorted and sounds very ethereal. It just, the penny dropped.
And also, what did he do recently as well? I was just thinking about it. I have these moments where my memory stops. I call it old age. Just being a convict.
So many, I can't remember half of them. And someone reminds me, oh yeah, you know, just so many. It goes on and on, and I don't think it'll ever stop.
Oh yeah.
Until
Nick Roth. Let's talk about. Yeah. We've got another about 15 minutes tonight, show, guys. Look, we were going to go for a lot longer, but unfortunately, our mate, bloody Mr. Order here, has to be somewhere as well. You've got another thing happening this afternoon, haven't you, mate?
Yeah, the family stuff. Yeah.
And I've got to drop off my kids to the train station because they're going out nightclubbing like their dad used to. Woot woot. Can you imagine me at a nightclub? Raise the roof, Brad. Raise the roof.
So you can't get in with jandals these days, Brad.
How did you know?
Look at him.
Jeans and jandals.
Magic, isn't it?
That's how this dad rolls, everybody. I'm the coolest paranormal dad out there. Just sort of put it out there word. Okay, Nick Roth, and let's talk about Nick Roth and Mr. Huff regarding using his shit in one of his paranormal lockdown. Right?
Yeah,
it was paranormal, okay.
Well,
Huff's in love with him.
Yeah.
Because he's promoting his shit. And Groff is just so blind to it. And it's like, let's do it. Let's
smack
this donkey.
He's TV, he's been on radio and that, so it's aligned to it. And it all started with this idea of making a film. He wanted to make a film, right? This is so bad. He wanted to raise $80,000 for this film, and he put it on Kickstarter, and he never made it. He got 46. He started doing it. He did a Facebook video, absolutely having a go at his fans, saying, "If one of you all donated $1, this would be happening, but it's not. It's all your fault." La la la.
Nice.
In the end, he ended up raising just 4,000, I think. And all it was, this is what this movie was. It paid for him to go on holiday to an exotic location, and it's just him and Josh from Hope Paranormal going around pulling serious faces and pointing at things. Oh, and every so often getting that bloody box out and playing sound samples at you. That was this movie. So what would £80,000 get you? I have no idea. So he wants TV. So obviously Groff, disgraced from Ghost Adventures, Direct Line, he sends him a portal for free. What a nice man, because how much they cost. You know, they cost so much money. And Nick's like, oh, wow, free gift. Oh, okay, you know. And obviously he can see the potential there to do all sorts. So I can imagine Huff saying, look, I know about you and that, but this thing you can get to do anything you need it to, you know. And the first Nick Groff, you might notice, his first episode of Nick Groff with it, they didn't even tell you what app or what the sound source was.
No, they just let it run.
Exactly right.
So you got no transparency is the key. You don't see him set it up. You don't see him play. Like I say, you watch my video, You'll see me turn on the box, and you know, what I mean, transparency is key when watching any paranormal video. The rawer it is, the less edit, the better. I know it's not so much fun sometimes, but
but it's real then, isn't it?
Yeah,
it's real. This is the thing. We're missing the real. We're missing the real nowadays.
Yeah.
Everything seems to be staged and scripted.
But even then, like, and and this is like the age-old saying that a sucker's born every minute. I mean, even when you watch like Ghost Adventures, and say what you will about about Zach and Ghost Adventures, and there's been some absolute dodgy shit that's gone on there as well with EMF meters being held down hallways and all the rest of it. But again, you have a look at GA, and you've had, the likes of like Gary Galker and Bill Chappell, and, a multitude of others who have been showcased through that show. Huff has still been running during a big chunk of Ghost Adventures to the last 6 or 7 years. Never once have picked him up, which again, very, I think that speaks fucking volumes that they never picked him up. Nick Groff obviously came along, like you said, disgraced from Ghost Adventures, looking for, somebody that he can sort of showcase and some free shit. Lo and behold, here's Steve Huff. Here's some free stuff, Nick. This stuff's fucking great. Run with it on your show. And it's not just been that, this was on Paranormal Lockdown that we saw the Wonder Box being showcased. I had to laugh my ass off. Obviously we've been pretty outspoken about the Ghosts of Shepherdstown and how fucking dodgy that show is.
Mate, we've been fucking brutal.
I mean, but we had the second episode of season 2.
I've got to stop you.
Quick,
stop you. Every time someone donates to the Naked Zombie, we read out your questions, and this is from Running Gone Empty. Running in. I can't.
Running on.
I can't see. I haven't got my glasses. Hang on.
Goggles on.
Put my old man glasses on. It writes, Riley, Liam, and Brad, you guys are awesome. In case you guys didn't already know it, there you go. Thank you. Don't laugh at my glasses because I meant to.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. So I got to, every time someone donates on the super chat, I got to stop everything because it's just really nice that people take. Look, we don't expect everyone to do it. A lot of people can't afford to do it. But we appreciate it when it happens, and thank you, Running on Empty, for that. That is absolutely brilliant. But every time someone does that, I've got to stop whatever's happening and haul myself.
Rachel, that's one of my third lists. The army of third lists that watch me. If you want third lists, if you need to. Third list is just an affectionate name for subs, basically, or viewers. So yeah, that's Rachel. She's she's pregnant at the moment. She's due to have a child soon.
Oh, wonderful.
But she's supported me tons of times. She's really nice, and she's got herself a box and that, and she's great. And she's got a channel as well. Go onto her channel.
Definitely check it out. That's great. And I'm sorry to cut you off, Liam, but you know the rules.
Yep, but I was going to say we'll step it back a little bit, and because you asked nicely, I will read it out. But anyway, we had Steve Huff. He not just had his Wonderbox showcased on Paranormal Lockdown. He was actually one of the guest star appearance on Paranormal Lockdown. Like you said, Order, again, it was dodgy as shit because, I mean, for all we know, they could have just had the old iPod plugged in, playing random sound samples. Who fucking knows? Funnily enough, when Nick Groff got attacked so unfairly over the legitimacy of Ghosts of Shepherdstown, we covered this, at length. Nick Groff went and put a big statement up on his Facebook page straight away after Jason Hawes had called him out. Funnily, within 20 minutes of that statement going out, who jumped into Facebook to stand up for his mate Nick
and lick his elbows?
Steve Huff, and I will read it out because I was a very good boy with my research, and I took a screenshot of it immediately.
The reason we're not posting shit, we'll let everyone know, the reason we're not posting anything of that sort of nature because a certain person loves to, what's the word I'm looking for, Riley?
Bit dick. No,
he loves to, if you put anything of his up, he will claim it, basically. He'll flag it, claim it. So we're not even going to bother. We are following the rules to 110% tonight. So this is our opinion.
I will read it. I will read my opinion.
There we go.
Read your opinion out, bro.
Fair fucking use. It's on Facebook. Steve. Steve writes in to Nick Groff. He puts it like in the comment section under Nick Groff's official statement that fucking we were taken out of context. We've never faked anything. Steve Huff says, Nick Groff has true passion for this field. I worked with him, spoke with him, and saw it in his eyes, words, and excitement. When working with him, I never saw one shred of anything being staged or fake, apart from the Wonderbox session that they had. Just fucking saying. Our evidence was legit, 100%. I can maybe knock a couple of zeros off that one. Sad to see others trying to knock others down in the paranormal. Anytime someone does good work or excels, there is someone who is negative, angry, and yes, even jealous, ready to do whatever it takes to knock them down. Sad, sad, sad.
I mean,
so there you go.
Hang on. I'm doing my hand thing. That looks really camp. That looks really camp when I do that, doesn't it?
It does, right?
Like a big gay biker.
That being said, I mean...
We got an extra donation. Liam, another donation.
Okay, quick.
Okay, Snaggletooth, $2. He writes, hi, Bradley and Riley. You guys fucking rock. Fuck yeah. In my gay motorbike club.
Man, very many thanks, Snaggletooth.
Thanks, Riley.
But that was sort of when all of this shit came out about 3 weeks ago. Obviously, you know, when you've got, you know, the authority of Steve Huff jumping in saying, fucking, this guy's completely above board and doesn't fake anything. Oh, fucking hell. Honestly, if it was my Facebook page straight after my announcement that I didn't fake my show, I probably would have deleted your message, Steve. Just saying. That being said, I did have to laugh. We had the second episode of season 2 of Ghosts of Shepherdstown went to air on American time Monday last week. So we're due for another one in another 36 hours or 48 hours or so.
You're not going to make me watch it, are you?
Second episode of Ghosts of Shepherdstown.
I struggled.
Like we talked about it the other day. It's fucking shoddy episode. But lo and behold, about 2/3 of the way through, they're investigating this woman's basement where apparently there is a portal to the other side and there are Native Americans like riding on horseback through it and who fucking knows. Nick Groff brings in this big suitcase and goes, I'm gonna sort of, you know, deploy some of my equipment around this basement. Opens it up and lo and behold, here is one of these magical geoportals.
No.
Again, like Riley said, I mean, this thing is about this fucking big. It looks like it's this old wireless, and it looks beautiful. It looks like this big old sort of antique speaky box. I mean, completely impractical for going on an investigation, given how fucking big the thing is. But he gets it out, and he starts, this, you know, we're just going to turn it on, and there's some flickering blue lights, and it's going to give us some messages. And the thing goes, fuck, it's malfunctioned. The spirit energy in here must be so strong that it's created my gearbox is malfunctioned. Honestly, the fact that, you know, you told us before, Riley, you know, that they've got a bad habit of fucking catching on fire. Honestly, I nearly fell off the couch when I was watching it. It's like, doesn't surprise me at all that the fucking thing malfunctioned. But again, you know, Nick Groff is still at it.
Yeah.
I don't agree on that, but anything from $2,000 to $8,000 that thing costs. My God.
I mean, how can, look, mate, you know what you can buy between that sort of money?
Yeah.
Two things: a high-class prostitute or a thermal imaging camera.
Yeah. Bill Chappell's SLS would be a good start.
I mean, it'd be hard toss-up between the two for me, but I'm just saying you've got that. You can... What?
I was going to say you could just, yeah, if you reduce your amount of time with your high class prostitute, you could also afford the thermal imaging camera, and you could.
Why would I do that?
Draw the dots. I don't know.
I don't see the money in value for that, cutting the time short.
You're the one sitting there wearing jandals. I don't know.
Yeah, so with that sort of money, you could actually go out and buy a whole plethora of genuine paranormal equipment. And again, you can afford all this.
But just hilarious that he's taken this, you know, it's beautiful and it's like wood veneer and varnished and it's got brass fittings and this beautiful flickering blue light back and forward. And he takes it out and this is the Geoport and we're gonna do some, and then it shits itself out in like 2 minutes. And you literally see the look of penny drops and Nick's sadness. Like, fuck, what do I say? The spirit energy has caused it to malfunction. No, it just fucking malfunctioned.
No, but again, tell people.
Like you said, if you just spent $8,000 on this piece of shit that blew up after 3 minutes worth of use, like, I can only imagine taking that back to Steve Huff and saying, what do we do? I paid $8,000 for it. Oh, not my fucking problem.
Spirits don't like you. They're getting confused with me and you. The spirits don't like you. You're a troublemaker, so I'm not answering your emails anymore. Good day.
Basically, that's what happens. Exactly
I'm deleting my support for you off Facebook. I no longer support you anymore. You've disrupted the spirit world.
Speaking of support, I have to laugh that me and Liam have now been officially blocked on nearly every paranormal discussion group on the planet. I think it's now official, Liam.
Yeah, I'll do most of them, but
shit, most of them. We don't care.
They're not blocked from truth seekers. That'll be my one. No.
Oh no, fuck no, we're going to sign up for that. But mate, anyway, listen, guys, we have come up to the end of tonight's show.
That's all right. Remember, do you want to say hello, Momo? Everyone's like,
hey, sweetie. Hello. Hello. Hey, darling, how are you? What a cute kid.
She's 5. This is Camaro.
Yeah. Haven't you got a 5-year-old, Liam?
Yeah, so, my 5-year-old Tynan's out running amok at the moment. I don't know what he's doing. He's trashing the house, probably.
Trashes the house. Just trashes it in minutes. So.
Mate, I've got a 19-year-old that trashes the house. I know all about it. But he's bigger than me now, so I've got to be careful. All right, guys, listen. Firstly, before we go tonight, sorry, it's only an hour show tonight, guys, but we have got so much to talk. We are actually getting the man back because we're going to bring back the Great Naked Paranormal Debate. And we're looking for that 4th person to join us for that show, which will probably be Tony, where we're going to sit down, the 4 of us are going to ask your questions. As that's going to come up in the future, it'll probably be on a weekend like we've done now. Order, is that all right with you, brother? Once a month, something like that, we'll do it?
Yeah. If it's the same time and everything, that's fine.
Oh, look, mate, that's a good night for us, isn't it, mate?
Yeah.
We've got no lives, so it doesn't matter. Used to do. I don't. I'm just a sad, overweight, bald, lonely man sitting here looking at Pornhub too much. Actually, I've been watching it while I've been watching that while I've been talking to you two. It's amazing I can do 2 things at once.
I was going to say you might have caught 1 or 2 of Steve's earlier videos.
Anyway, guys. Firstly, Order, mate, you're a legend. Thank you for taking the time to come on the Naked Zombie, mate. You're a true set legend. Look, honestly, keep doing what you're doing, mate. You have our support moving forward, as you know. And we just love your work. We'll continue to follow you, continue to be in contact, and thank you so much for taking the time to be on the Zombie tonight. Liam, do you want to say anything?
Yeah, I was going to again say thank you so much for joining us tonight, Order. It's been a fresh perspective again. It's been a great topic. For everyone who's currently watching, who's been through the live chat, again, thank you all for putting your 2 cents worth in. And for anyone else who watches this afterwards, please make sure, jump onto YouTube. If you're watching us, type in Order of Magnitude in the search bar, go across and find Riley's channel as well. Hit the like button over there as well, because tons of really great videos coming through. And then thank you all for joining us tonight. It's been a pleasure.
You want to say anything in closing, man?
Thank you, all my Furtless that have come over. That's really cool. Yeah, like the first ones there. Like, oh my God, my Furtless have come over. Amazing. So that's really cool.
Mate, look, absolute pleasure having you. Listen, like I say, don't forget, subscribe to The Naked Zombie. Subscribe to Order of Magnitude. The more of us who find us smaller channels out there who just want to bring the truth to people and to rid the world of bullcrap in our field. Yeah, we don't have 180,000 subscribers like Mr. Huff does, but fucking hell, we work for what we've got.
buy some. We can buy some on Fiverr and buy some views.
I know.
We can.
Well, we can, but fuck that. I've got no money. I don't know. I've got a little bit extra tonight. Maybe I can flash it around in 1 cent pieces.
And again, I think, and that's the big important thing too. Like, no one here is, you know, like one of those skeptics who absolutely completely disagrees with the paranormal, doesn't believe in any of it, and is trying to shit on it.
No, we love it. We breathe it.
You know, honestly, the more that we stick together, you know, in the paranormal and try and at least, you know, sort of push away that fog of bullshit that goes on in the paranormal, to make sure that, you know, we're sort of getting rid of all of that rubbish and actually getting down to the nitty gritty of it. The sooner that happens, the better. And, you know, we're going to get, you know, sort of better evidence and more evidence. And yeah, but yeah, there's too much sort of crap up the top end at the moment that we need to sort of dig through until we can get down to that nitty gritty.
All right, listen, we'll call it quits, guys. Just stay on the line there, mate, before you go. And just want to say thank you, Zombie Army. Thank you for being a part of our lives once again. And like I say, each time we end the show, have a good night, have a safe night. If you're out investigating, please look after each other. I'm Brad Scott. That was Luscious Liam. And, of course, the man for himself all the way from the UK, order of magnitude, Mr. Riley. And I'm Brad Scott. You have been watching Australia's very own shittiest, paranormalist, crappiest. My God, we suck. Big testicle sandwiches, the naked zombie. See you all later. Cheers.